trainings.com. My name is Amit, and today I am going to demonstrate you how to create Hyperion Financial Management 123 Classic application. It's a hands-on example, so I directly take you to my server and show you how to create practice application. The first thing which I always prefer to do is I just connect to my WebLogic server and check all the required services are up and running. To do the same thing, I'll connect to my web server and I see the required services are like foundation services, HFM and EPMS services. They are up and running. Next, I'll connect to my WebLogic. Next, I connect to my workspace and I'm going to create my classic application. So we'll write the steps over here so it is easy for us to memorize. Step first, I would be using I'll create a application profile, creating HFM classic application. Step first, I'll create application profile. Let me just increase the font size a little bit. So step first, create application profile. Now, application profile consists of some of the important aspects. I'll open my desktop client, financial management, under EPMA, financial management desktop client, and define application profile. You can create a new profile, you can select the existing profile and modify this. I'm going to create a new profile. Click next. The first step, you define a language. This is localization support. What are the different languages your HFM application going to support? So I write English and French. There are two languages my application going to support. These languages would be working as an alias, so each member may have two names, in English and in French. So, and then I define calendar. One way I can define standard calendar like year, half year, quarter, month, followed by a specify start month of my application. Alternatively, I can give a custom defined calendar. Like when you want 13 months rolling, you can define a custom calendar. So number of days period, I can type 13, and I can prefix a term called rolling 1, rolling 2, rolling 3, something like this. In today's example, we'll create a sample application with a standard and start month as January. I'm assuming I'm using a calendar month. Start year would be 2011 and number of years would be 10 years. I want 3 years of historical data, 1 year of current data and 3 years of future data. Total 7 years data I need, including historical data, current and future. Take a snapshot of this because this forms a year and period dimension, and year and period dimension in turn define view dimensions. I'll take a snapshot of this. Also, I simultaneously start writing. First I define language and then I define year and period dimension. Then I click on next. Now you see my view dimension automatically gets created with the required members. These dimensions contain YTD, HTD, half year date, quarter to date and month to date. Depends upon the value you select in your calendar year. They are in sync. I'll just copy and paste, put them together over here, and when we compare we see because I have chosen year, therefore it forms in a view dimension. Frequency is YTD because you have chosen half year date. This makes a half year to date. Year forms, quarter forms a QTD and month forms a MTD, right? So your view dimension gets created depends upon the way you create your period dimension. And if you uncheck accordingly, if I uncheck quarter, a QTD will remove from the list. So if you go back and uncheck your quarter, you would see QTD disappear. So view dimension in line with your period dimension. Next, this is my summary screen where I could see my time dimension hierarchy, which is called period, year, half year, quarter, month. You can in turn create children, sibling to the member in case you won't like to customize this time dimension. You can in turn create a children and sibling to this. In my case, this is my perfect time dimension. I do not like to make any modification. You can also define a description and label to each period as well. So you see, when I select month, it forms MTD. When I select quarter, it forms QTD. Frequency is QTD. Year is half year date, and year is YTD. Select next and save this file. So I give a current custom dimension name. So we can have n number of custom dimension. First two custom dimension work as a from currency and to currency. From currency, there could be multiple local currencies, and to currency is your multiple local currency converts to a base currency. So I define from, give a name and alias name. From currencies, the gray out demonstrate their uneditable option. You cannot modify the dimension, size, and to currencies, you cannot change them, they remain same. In addition to this, you can create your own dimension, like I create product dimension. I know it is a medium. You can define medium, large or small. I'll make them as a medium. And I create another dimension called customer details. This is also medium. So you can create in the same fashion, you can create n number of custom dimension. Unlike in previous release, you have only 4 custom dimension. Click next and give an application profile name. The extension is .per. As I discussed in the previous session, it's recommended to create one HFM working folder and place all your application artifact in your working folder. I'm going to create an application profile name as demo application profile extension.per. So I can quickly move across from one server to another server in case I like to migrate my application. Application profile got created. Right. So my step first is done. I define language, year, period, view dimension. Right. Next step, I'll create a sample application and point to this application profile. So go to your browser interface. There's an option called classic application administration. Under administration, there's an option called consolidation administration. Select this, and by default it will display all the messages. You can select the application profile and see application, and it will display all the system defined message. It takes little time to load it. I could see there are plenty of messages are available for previous. I like to clear all the existing message first, and we'll create our application from the scratch. So do you see under administration task, you find an option called application. You can select the application, right click and open. And I see there are 3 applications already exist. I'm going to create a new application over here. There's an option called action. Click on new application. While creating application, you define cluster. In my case, my application is configured on single cluster. It could be possible your application configured on multiple clusters for backup and load balancing purpose. Give your application name. I give a name called practice application 5 and description of it. This is our sample application. And now point to the application profile, the one which we just now created. This was under working folder, C drive, and HFM working folder. I'll point to this application profile. And the user management projects are a list of folders which exist in your security file, shared service. These are like a folder in order to ease your administration. Maybe you like to take a backup of all HFM application. Managing the application under folders is your job ultimately. And further you see there are 2 options, consolidation and text provisioning. Text provisioning in new application is like an application template with pre-built metadata structure and rules. Right now we are going to use HFM application, so I use consolidation and click on create. Now create may take some time because it creates a set of underlying table in your set of RDBMS table in your underlying database. So let it complete. Well, I see over here new application got created, practice application number 5. You can right click simple application and open it. Click on application and open it. Next, once application got created, I'll follow this order. I load security first, Security has .sec extension. It contains basic information about your application like users, groups, class, security class. We'll talk about the security file in detail subsequent session. Right now I'm going to load the security file which is available in my practice application. So you can actually open this file and see how exactly it look like. Open your practice application and see this under your C drive, HFM working, practice application security. Click on this file and open a notepad. This is how your security file look like. Right now I don't have many users, but it does consist of users and group, what security class consists of, what roles, privileges you have in your application. In a subsequent session, I'm going to show you how to get security file and move from one server to another server. So let's load the security file into our application. Go to load section, and there's an option called application element. You can open this, and there are multiple options available under application elements. I'll use the first option called load security. It takes little time to open, generally little slow. Got open. I'll follow all the structure step by step. So application profile, the delimiter I see over here is a semicolon. You can open the application profile and define what delimiter are you using. Right now my security file, let me correct, you click on delimiter and define which security file, what delimiter you are using in security file. So I already shown you this is your security file, and it's almost empty, right? I just browse to my security file application folder and load the security file. Right, your security file consists of users group, security classes, roles and privileges, and security class access. In case you do not want to load some of them, for example you don't want to load users, you can uncheck this. Remaining other options like security class, roles access, and security class access will be loaded. I can also use this option clear all in case I would like to overwrite my security file with the existing security. Before you load that, you can scan it and ensure that everything is correct. Click on load. Security class loading is going on. It gets loaded. It's a small file, therefore it happened quickly. So load security, I'll put under this application setup. Step first, I load security file under this. Next I'm going to load metadata. For a classic application I'm going to load XML file. Right. Now EPMA application I already discussed, you load ADS and APP file. So metadata option already given over here. Just browse to your XML file which is under your practice application, metadata, XML file, XML document, point to this. In case you already have a XML metadata and you like to override the complete metadata, you can use this option, clear metadata and data. You can also open the XML file and browse it. Does your application file, metadata file contain application setting, consolidation method and text cell label? If it does contain, check them. If it does not, uncheck them. In our case, our metadata file consists of application setting. If you like to know about it more, you can open the metadata file under your desktop client. Open your HFM application. Under manage metadata, open your metadata file and you can find all the required information under this. So I open a metadata file and I can check my application setting. I can see some of the options are given for my application setting. So I'll continue to check this option, application setting. I also check my consolidation method. Here we have option for consolidation method. My consolidation methods are also set. So my source file contains this information, therefore I continue to check this. And similarly you have text cell text label. So you in turn have two options, merge and replace. Well, in case you are loading in second time, you can use an option replace. All the metadata elements get replaced which exists in my source file, and which does not exist in my source file get deleted from your target application. Whatever delimiter you are using, you can specify over here. Let it be default. You can scan it first to ensure the metadata file is consistent. Scan. and then load. Scan may take some time. Scan got completed and you can load it. Okay, the scan is still going on. I should wait it, or alternatively I click on reset. Click on reset and point to your source file once again and load it. I keep it all the default. My metadata file consists of all the required dimension: currency, scenario, entity, and custom dimension. Right? Then I click on load. Load may take some time. Load got completed, and the next step I keep writing over here: load metadata XML file. Third step is optional. I use member list. Member list is like an array, the collection of members of similar nature. You can use member list in multiple places. You can use member list to browse your members. In case you have got 100,000 financial elements and you want to filter member based on certain properties, I like to see only those members which are profit or loss, those financial elements which fall under certain cost center. You can use a member list. It's actually a text file. It's a programming script written in VB script with LST extension. You can open your member list, right click and open your member list and see how it look like. Right, there is no change since the previous release. So member list file you need to write in Notepad and then you can load it into your system. So I just point to member list and then load it. I'll show you what member list consists of. You can scan and load it. Right now my member list is completely consistent, so I'm directly loading it. Member list you can also use in programming language, the same as you use an array. Last one is also option at this point of time. This is called rule. Rule. They define the custom consolidation. Custom consolidation and calculation. Right. So rules are nothing. They're business rules which define how consolidation take place, how allocation take place. This is RLE extension. You browse it to your rule file, XML file, open. You can scan and load it. Right now I'm going to load it directly. Load the rule file. It is done. The final activity, the module configuration is not mandatory at this point of time. Basic activity is done. Whatever I've done so far, I like to evaluate it in order to test our metadata and data. The next step, I'm going to load data. Load data, and we load data grid. So in data grid we'll test our whole application. So go to data option, right click, open and load data. The sample data ship along with your practice application. At this point of time you can keep all this option default. Just point to data file. This is your data file. You can in fact open, click on data file and see how data file look like. Right click and you can open this data file. Before I load, I would like to show you the data file. Is little big, bulky, consists of your data. Let's open this in Notepad. This is your data file. Now if you look at carefully, this is your data, which is a combination of all dimension members. We'll talk about data file in detail in subsequent session. So this is your data with the intersection of all these dimension members. Right. So okay, let it be open. We load this data file. The default option. I can scan and load it. I'm going to load it directly because I know it is consistent. Loading may take some time, so the process bar tells me how much percent got loaded. Scan it and then it's going to load it. It may take another few seconds. Loading and I can look at the result. Click on this result section, log file, and I don't find any error message, and I see the loading is done in few seconds. It seems to be loading get done in 11 seconds. The final step, I would like to browse through everything I have done under data grid. So I load data grid. Data grid is like an interface, a window where people are going to communicate. We can use either data grid, data form, or smart list. Any one of the place we can browse our application. So under document section, open your document section, and here we are going to load it. Alternatively, you can open document section from your consolidate documentation, and I'll just see my I don't have any existing document over here, data from a data grid. So I'll right click, open. I open a simple, we can load data form, data grid, task list, multiple elements. Right now I'm going to load data grid, and quickly whatever we have done, we test it. Point to your data grid, that is called grid. I load, there are three grids we have, simple, line item, details. Again point all these three, and consolidation grid. I'll go with the default option as of now and quickly load it. Load may take again it will take few seconds. Load seems to be done. We can once again go to consolidate documentation and refresh it to see, did we get the new metadata data grid? Yes, I got new get data grid. I can open my data grid and check the data. So I should be able to browse the data which we got loaded. We can compare now. So I could see data over here for which, for entity. Let's browse it. For entity California, either I can input data or I could check my existing data, the one which we got loaded. Let's first load our data. I'm going to load data to bottom level member like months. Simple enter data over here and check here, and then you can write back. Go to action and submit data back to your HFM. What data got submitted, it turns out to be yellow to white color, which say data is already changed. Right click, data got submitted, and consolidate. I can consolidate to individual cell, right click and consolidate. So Sunnyvale and Fawcett data gets consolidated to the parent member called California for the given intersection. This is done. Now I could see the post consolidated value at parent level. There is no consolidation rule attached, therefore all values are rolled up to the parent. However, if you have a consolidation rule attached, the number may not be 400. It maybe depends upon what consolidation rule attached with this. Finally, I like to check my point of view and check, open this point of view and check when data got loaded or not. All my dimension member. I just quickly browse through all the dimension and check the member got loaded, and finally we'll check the data got loaded successfully or not. So as for my metadata, one which I loaded, we have got these members under which start with accounts. These are the member in account dimension. I quickly check few of them. Let's start with account. These are the member we have in account dimension, right? Seems to be completely perfect. Under net profit, net income, right, this shows my account dimension get loaded. Now we check other members like entities. I'll check few of them for the sake of testing. Entities, entities is not selected in this in a point of view, so I'll check in a column and row. I can check other member like product, which is my custom dimension, products. In the same fashion, you can continue to check all the metadata you load into your practice application, right? So I'll select the same intersection where I got data got loaded, and finally check the data which you loaded is correct or not. Same intersection. So start with scenario. Scenario was actual. Scenario is actual. Year is 2004. I change year is 2004. Rather than using 99, I replace 99 with 2004. Then period is July. Period. Okay. Period is not set over here, so I can leave it. Then view is periodic view. I select view. The view is periodic view, which is scenario at this point of time. Override with my periodic view. Entity is Stanford. Entity is selected in my row, so I need not set it. Entity is not given the list. It is in my row. Currency is USD, which is your value dimension. Currency, entity currency. I could use entity currency, which is default currency USD. I can explicitly select USD. Account is administration expense. Go to account and select administration expense. Administration expense. Right? And product is golf ball custom 2. Product is none. I'll replace with this golf ball. Golf ball custom 2. Customer is customer 2. So customer 2, right? Customer 3 is none and customer 4 is increase. Custom 4 dimension is increase. So I'll select what is my custom 4 dimension, which seems to be none. Yeah, it is none. I'll replace this with increase. So I set my point of view exactly same what is given in my data file. Now I check the data which I loaded is the same as is available here or not. If the point of view is same, it will be out to be available over here. We loaded for Stanford. Just point to Stanford. Perfect. This is the data. You can compare. This is my data got loaded for this intersection. Right, this is the intersection. Actual 2004 July, actual 2004 periodic July, USD, Stanford, administration expenses, and account dimension is administration expenses. ICP none, product is golf ball, customer 2, none and increase. So once data got loaded, we have done the basic setup of our application. Now in a subsequent session we'll keep talking about different dimension member properties and how these dimension member properties impact your consolidation behavior. We also see in next example how to set up your practice application using lifecycle management utility, LCM utility. For today I'm going to stop over here, and if you have any question you can ask me. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to access more videos. Feel free to write to us or browse our site www.bisptraining.com. Thanks for watching today's video and have a great day ahead.